Hello, everybody. Nice Link here with a very, very big episode of the Nice Link podcast. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about this week. This might run a little longer than usual, and I also apologize that it's taken me a little longer to get to this. Some things happened over the weekend. I'm not going to go into detail on what, but it's kind of had me occupied. But it's about almost 4 p.m. on Sunday when recording this. I usually have this up by now. Sorry about that. Life kind of gets in the way sometimes. But we're here now, and we're going to talk about all the things Breath of the Wild and all the things Nintendo Switch. Okay, as pretty much all of you know, this past Friday, Nintendo in Japan held its big Nintendo Switch press conference, accompanied the very next day by a Treehouse event that took place here in the United States. I think it was in the United States. I'm pretty sure everybody I saw in the Treehouse was American. So, anyway, where to even start? The presentation itself was a little weird. Probably weird for us because Japanese humor is so different than ours. But we started off, they revealed the release date is just literally weeks away, March the 3rd. Hope you guys pre-ordered. That's just weeks away. It's January the 15th now. In just a few weeks, we're all going to have our Nintendo Switches. January 15th, March the 3rd. March the 3rd is going to be such a cool day. It's coming out March the 3rd. They showed the Switch off. It's a very nice looking console. We've seen it before. Obviously on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and then the reveal trailer that happened back in the fall. It's a nice little console. The first big game they announced that night was Super Mario Odyssey. And I think this game looks amazing. Finally, if you saw my I think I mentioned this in the prediction video. If I didn't, I know I mentioned it on the Twitch stream, which you can still go watch on my Twitch channel, which I'll link in the description of this video. As I do plan to do more streams in the coming year. I did predict that we would see a Mario game open world announced. I did predict that. And it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Don't get me wrong. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are in my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I think they're the best two Mario games in the entire series. Super Mario 3D World, I thought was a really fun game. But we've all been, well, most people anyway, have been clamoring for another Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine type game where it's kind of open and you go around and you can play levels and that kind of thing. That's what we've been wanting for quite some time. Maybe more of the Super Mario 64 type, and that's what this is. That's what this is. It seems to have new mechanics. Bowser's trying to marry Peach for the 80 billionth time. Doesn't he know that will create a rift in the space-time continuum? Anyways, basically the same premise of Mario games. Bowser wants Peach. Peach doesn't want Bowser, so Mario's got to save Peach. And lots of interesting things. I saw a lot of cool references to other Mario games throughout the trailer. I saw references to Super Mario Land. It looks like at one point Mario was actually riding the lion Sphinx thing from Super Mario Land. At one point I saw street signs with Kong names on them. And then there's other things that I saw too. Maybe we'll go into detail on that in a different video. But I'm really excited for Super Mario Odyssey. It looks spectacular. The graphics look good. The new mechanics that they showed look pretty neat, and I'm interested to find out more about those. It's coming out this holiday, so there's their big holiday title that's coming to us. Also, in other news, some other games that got announced: Bomberman R, Super Bomberman R, and we haven't had a main console Bomberman. Didn't have one on the Wii U. I don't think there was one on the Wii. But I know there was Bomberman Generations on the GameCube. Unless there's one on the Wii that I forgot, somebody I'm sure can correct me in the comments by all means. It's hard to remember every game that comes out. Especially ones that are not in my library. But the last Bomberman game that I have for main console is Generations for the GameCube. And I think there was also Bomberman Jatters on that, which I don't own that game. But I know the GameCube had a couple Bombermans. I don't think the Wii did, but I could be wrong. Actually, I can look it up. I'll show you guys. Let's see. Just use our trusty Google engine here. Bomberman Wii. Woo. I put Wii. Or I put Woo. See, Bomberman Wii. Oh, well, there's Bomberman Land. But that doesn't appear to be the traditional Bomberman game, as is the new one for the Nintendo Switch. And it looks really fun. I saw some gameplay of it in the Treehouse event that they aired over their channel on Twitch and YouTube. It looks like a fun Bomberman game. I'll probably pick that up. Probably won't be, first day. I'm not going to pre-order it. It's a Bomberman game. At some point, though, I'll pick that game up and throw it in there and play it. It'll be a good, if I feel like taking my Switch out with me, it'll be a good game to play. So, that's something to look forward to. Another game that got announced, excuse me, for all of you Fire Emblem fans, and all you Hyrule Warriors fans can all rejoice as you both got something new. Fire Emblem Warriors is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And we'd heard rumors for several months that Koei Tecmo was working on a new Warriors type game with Nintendo characters. And now we know what it is. I personally was kind of hoping it was a Mario Warriors game, as I feel like that would be the most fun game ever created by Nintendo, Koei Tecmo, or anybody. But anyways, we got Fire Emblem, which is perfectly fine. The characters fit the series perfectly well. I'm sure, if I had to make a guess, it'll be characters from Awakening and Fates. So, personally, I just want to play as Lucina. She's my main in Smash 4, so... Lucina, I'm sure she'll be in there. Robin, all of the ones that you see in Smash, will probably be in there in some way or another. Very anxious to see how they do this. What will be different between this and Hyrule Warriors. Still hoping at some point we get an Ultimate Edition of Hyrule Warriors so I can play all of those extra levels on the 3DS version on a good console. No, well, the 3DS is a good console. I'm just joking. I'd just like to be able to play them with better resolution and graphics. I'm not a graphics hog. I just felt like Hyrule Warriors Legends shouldn't have even been a thing. Compared to the Wii U version, it's just unnecessary. But Fire Emblem Warriors in... Let me see, when is that coming out? That's not too far off. Emblem... I should have wrote all these dates down or brought up that chart. Fire Emblem Warriors in... Okay, I don't have a date here. I believe it's the summer. It's sometime in 2017. So, you got that to come in 2017. It's not a release date. Also, this didn't get announced on the actual on the actual. My mind is just dying today, folks. I got a lot on my mind. So much information. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't necessarily get announced at the event, but rather in a trailer that was released following the event. They only had an hour, so there was only so much they could announce right there, and their main focus was specs and AAA titles. But well, I guess this is technically a AAA title. I mean, Mario Kart 8 is always a huge seller on any console it's on. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they didn't show too much. They did show an improvement battle arena, which we all have wanted. If anybody's played Mario Kart 8, that's what we want. One of the things we've wanted. Very much improved. They also showed that the Inklings are going to be racers in this new version, and it looks like there's also an Inkling Splatoon inspired track, which that's cool. So that kind of confirms, the rumor that there'll be new tracks. We've heard anywhere between 8 and 16. Either way, I think that warrants me buying the game. Other new characters, King Boo, Dry Bones, they'll both be in there. Bowser Jr., I'm surprised he wasn't part of the DLC with the Koopalings. But there's a lot to be added to this game, and I'm sure we'll get more information. Excuse me, get the hiccups. There'll be more information to come as the weeks go by, and that one, it's not, while not a launch title, you won't have to wait long. I believe that's coming out later in March or early April, so that's not far off. That's the good thing about ports, is there doesn't have to be a lot of work done. You can get one out pretty quick, and quick cash grab, for Nintendo for sure, and lots of fun for us. Really want to backtrack here for a second, back to Fire Emblem. There is a Fire Emblem Warriors Direct coming very soon. I believe sometime later this month or next month. So we'll bring that up again in future podcasts. That'll be a podcast topic when that happens. So just be waiting on that. Sonic Mania got confirmed for the Switch. I wish it was on the Wii U. I wouldn't have to buy. I wish all these games were on the Wii U. I wouldn't have to buy a $300 console, right? But Super Mario or Super. God, I'm all over the place. Sonic Mania is confirmed for the Switch. Looks like a sharp little Sonic game. It's another game that I probably won't get at launch. I'll probably wait a few weeks on that and get it when I'm ready, because, just to be perfectly honest, Breath of the Wild's going to keep me busy for quite some time. I'm going to have, my nose deep into that game. Puyo Puyo Tetris. Everybody knows what Tetris is, and Puyo Puyo is another puzzle type game, and they're like combining the two into one. Good Lord, what is going on outside? I'm so sorry if that is too loud. I got this crazy dude that lives up the road that likes to run that thing all the time. But anyways, Puyo Puyo Tetris, it's just a puzzle game. I don't know if I'll pick it up or not. Maybe if I can find it like clearance for like $20 or something, maybe. But it's nothing that I'm in a hurry to get. In what is basically the Wii Sports / Nintendo Land, it seems, is 1-2 Switch. It's basically just a game that looks like it teaches you how the mechanics of the Switch work. I'm probably, unless this is bundled with the console, which I don't think they're bundling anything with the console this time, which breaks a long-standing tradition, I'm probably not going to pick this one up. It just feels like an instructional game, and Nintendo Land was fun, and Wii Sports was what it was at the time, so I just don't feel like I need it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. If you want to look up 1-2 Switch, there's videos on Nintendo's YouTube channel. Another one is they did introduce a new IP called ARMS. And this looks pretty cool. It's basically like a motion-controlled boxing game, but it's a little different than just straight-up boxing. It's kind of in a cartoony Nintendo way, long, springy arms, and the characters are cute, and it looks really fun. And you can play with a friend, and you can fight each other. I'm surprised they actually just didn't throw the Punch-Out IP on this and just make this a new Punch-Out game, because they easily could have. But they decided to make a new IP, and it looks really good. I had to admit, ARMS looks fun. There's many different multiplayer opportunities, different ways you can play. It just looks really fun. A generic name. The graphics in it kind of look like Pokken Tournament. Pretty close to it as far as like because you're in these big arenas, and just looks really fun. Once again, it's another one of those. I hate to keep sounding repetitive. It won't be a day one purchase, but it's a game that I will most likely purchase at some point. Be a good game to have friends and family over and have a good time. And I like to have video game get-togethers at my house. It's something I've always had a lot of fun doing. Lots of Dragon Warrior stuff got announced. They're putting Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 together. I don't think they necessarily said that was coming to the United States. Remember, this was a Japanese presentation that was broadcast around the world. Skyrim confirmed for the Switch. We pretty much knew that. I mean, we saw it in the reveal trailer. That probably will be. That's coming, I believe, in April. That most likely for me will be a day one purchase. As I've waited a while to get Skyrim. In the brief time that I own an Xbox 360, I never bought that game, but I will get it for the Switch. It looks like something I would like. I'll see. I'll see how it is when I get it. I guess. I mean, it won't hurt. If I don't like it, I could trade it in for something else. Skyrim definitely confirmed. FIFA, EA, they're supporting both FIFA and NBA game coming this year. I'm not a sports game guy myself. I used to play a couple of the Major League Baseball games on the GameCube, but I'm not a huge sports fan, and I'm not a fan of EA, and I know a lot of people aren't either, and that's okay. I'm right with you there, guys. But like them or hate them, their games make a lot of money. And they'll make a lot of money for the Switch. So, it's a good thing they're there. Might be in kind of a shitty way, but it's a good thing. No More Heroes 3 got confirmed. I don't know too much about that series, but I know a lot of my friends are excited for that. Those were big titles on the Wii. I never played them. I've always heard good things. Maybe at some point I'll pick that up. Maybe get acquainted with that series. I'm pretty sure they're not too expensive. Okay. Now let's get to the part. They talked about the Switch itself and many of its features. One feature I found really cool is Rumble HD. And basically, it's just more than holding your controller and it shaking when something major is happening in your game. Oh, dear God, it's an earthquake! But, this is like, they kind of explain to it like, feeling the sensation of a glass of water, like glass of ice being poured. It's kind of hard to explain it, but it's a technology that does exist already in other things, but it's the first time Nintendo has made the leap. It's what everybody was hoping the Wii U would have on it, that it would be this step up that, because they've just been using regular Rumble forever, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I like Rumble. It gives you like this sense of feel into the game, but this is like the next step to it. Like you can feel just more than a shake in your hands. There was no virtual console announcements, and a lot of people are kind of wondering as to why. There's a very good reason for that. This was a Japanese presentation, and they knew that. When it comes to virtual console, that kind of information is localized. So, like if they say here in the United States, on the Wii U at least, it happened every Thursday, a new game would be uploaded to the virtual console. Let's say here in the United States, Mario Party 3 is getting uploaded. Just an example. Well, in Europe, that could very well be Pikmin 2. And in Europe, they could be getting Donkey Kong 94. So it's different so that's most likely why there wasn't any virtual console information released. That'll probably come in videos in the next few weeks, which Nintendo afterwards did come out and say, be looking for lots of videos of the next few weeks that we will release and information that will be released. So, like I said, there's also only so much you can do in an hour. It was an hour-long presentation. There's only so many things that can be announced in 1 hour. One thing, though, that they did say that I am absolutely happy to finally say, they have listened to us. They have heard our calls of distress over the years. And region locking is no more. Nintendo has done away with it for the Nintendo Switch. Thank God. So now if there's a Japanese game that comes out and then they don't release in America, and you want to order that game from Japan, and you're special enough that you can understand Japanese, you can do it. You can do it. Or if you're in Europe or Australia, and there, sometimes games, are a little bit more harder to get in some places, and you want to order a game from the United States, you can do so. And you don't have to worry about it not being able to work on your console. So that's one of the best things that Nintendo announced in years, in my opinion. RIP region locking, we hardly cared for you. Never saw the point in it, never saw how it drew them a damn dollar. I thought it was the stupidest thing Nintendo's ever done. I never believed in region locking. I don't know why it ever existed. Anyways, I'm not going to go on a tangent on that. One of the other features on the Switch, they introduced a record and streaming button. Like on PS4 and stuff. Now, I don't know if you can stream to Twitch or anything. To Twitch. I got it right that time. I don't know if you can stream it or anything, but I know you can, take screenshots and upload them to social media, like on Facebook and Twitter, and that's really cool. That's what I wanted on the Wii U. It's kind of on the Wii U, but it's also kind of not. It's, complicated and stupid. You can upload videos. This is awesome. I've been wanting this on a Nintendo console since, freaking ever. Finally, I can post all of my fail in Zelda on social media and truly show everybody how much I suck at video games. Anyways, that was another cool feature. They did announce that there will be an app that will also go along with it, and that will be how we do our online chat and stuff like that. They didn't go into full detail on it. I'm sure more information will come about the app. We do have to pay for online, but I know a lot of people are cringing because, that's what Xbox and PlayStation do. And I gotta admit, I hate having to pay more money for something. But there is a free trial that you do get a free trial of it. I think it's for 2 or 3 months or something like that, they said. Could be more than that. Correct me once again if I'm wrong. But the way I see this, Nintendo's online has been pretty primitive. The Wii, it was pretty much non-existent on the Wii. The Wii U had it, like with games like Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros. But it was really just, eh. It was eh. It wasn't, anywhere the level of PlayStation's or Microsoft's versions. But here's the way I look at paying for the online. If it means that we finally get good online services from Nintendo, and that this is actually going to be something that improves our gameplay and online play, then I'm down the clown. I'm down, baby. So it's very interesting to see. There's Miiverse is no more, sadly. R.I.P. Miiverse. I liked Miiverse. I thought Miiverse was a terrific thing. But let's face it, as time went on, it seemed like Nintendo just kind of lost interest little by little in it. Like at one point, they were full tilt into Miiverse. And now it's like, we still have this, but oh well. I needed a drink. My throat was getting dry. Excuse me. Another game that got announced, speaking of online play, is Splatoon 2. Everybody thought that this was going to be a port of Splatoon. And Splatoon is only 2 years old. And a lot of people still play it. It's a terrific game. So we figured this would be a port. We'd get tons of DLC and new things added. And they would probably bring back the Splatfests, which were a overwhelming success for Nintendo. But nope, we're getting a true full-blown sequel, new weapons, new Inklings, new courses, and I'm pretty sure they'll be bringing back Splatfest or something along the lines of Splatfest. I'm looking forward to it. This will be a game I buy day one. So just stick that in with Mario, stick that in with Zelda, stick that in with Skyrim. This will be a day one purchase for me. And it's glad to see that finally Nintendo has another new successful IP. Because it's one thing Nintendo needs to start doing a lot more of is new IP. Been saying it for years. I love Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pikmin, and stuff, but we need new IP. Now, you're probably wondering, speaking of Metroid and other Nintendo IP, Miyamoto-san, when Metroid? When Mother 3? That sounds so racist right now. But, no, neither one didn't get announced. Mother 3, that brings me back to the whole localization thing. Remember, that's already a thing in Japan, and it would make no sense for them to announce a game that's already existing in Japan, if you see what I'm saying. That'll be something they announce at some point over here. I 100% still think it's coming. 100% still think it's coming. And I think it's... remember, it is January 15th. E3 is in 6 months. And Metroid... same thing. I truly believe in my heart something Metroid is coming. E3. And it's so funny, right after this event, in an interview with, I think, IGN, Reggie Fils-Aimé from Nintendo of America, president, good old Reggie, he's pretty much said, he pretty much comes out and says, well, he doesn't have anything to announce here. But come back to me in a year, and we'll look back through the year and see where we're at. So that pretty much confirms to me. He kind of confirmed that something for those two IP is coming. He didn't say the words, oh yeah, we're going to announce E3, Metroid, Mother 3. We're going to announce that shit and rock everybody's world. No, he didn't say those words. You got to read between the lines of what he said. Come back to me in a year, and we'll look back through the last year, and we'll see. So that to me means wait till E3, folks. There, we can't announce it all in one day and blow our load here. They got to save something for the biggest video game news conference of the year. They have to save something. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to get some big announcements. And I want to tell you something. I know a lot of people are also saying, yeah, man, this launch lineup really lame. This sucks. Everybody's launch lineup sucks. The PS4 launch lineup sucked. The Xbox One lineup sucked. Year 2 is always the big year for a console. The first big year. That's when the games start. That's when all the developers are, really getting used to making games for it, and everybody sees where the console is in terms of sales. And I'm pretty sure the Switch is going to sell really good, especially with Zelda. But year 2, that's when you're going to see a lot of stuff. Okay, now the part that you're all sitting there patiently waiting on. You've been good, boys and girls. I wanted to save this till last. I wanted to save the juicy part to last. Breath of the Wild trailer at the end. Oh my God! I swear to God, every time they reveal anything about this game, it just keeps getting more amazing. And it kind of killed something that I was worried about, is that I thought, with all that we've seen and stuff in the past, I thought, this is not going to be, there's not going to be a lot of meat to this game. I figured it's just going to be, it looked kind of empty. But this changed a lot. We saw so much. We saw the Deku Tree. We saw Zoras. We saw Gorons. We saw Gerudo. We heard voice acting, which is long overdue in a Zelda game. Excuse me. We saw so many new characters. We saw the face of Princess Zelda, and she has so much emotion in this game. One of the knocks over the years on Zelda has been the fact that there's been times where she's just been a flat character. Twilight Princess Zelda. Beautiful design, just not a lot of personality to her there. Or you get turned around in some games like Ocarina of Time, and she has the personality and the intrigue like an Ocarina of Time, but just a flat design. So it looks like they've got the design and the character. There's just a lot going on in this thing. At one point, Zelda's talking about, at some point, she's talking about, why is this all worth it? And just so many feels. And oh man, there wasn't so much gameplay shown this time. This was more of a storyline trailer, if you will, or character trailer. So much was revealed. And they also showed in videos that with the horses that you get, they actually have like a life system. Like they can die in battle. That's never been done before. So Link dies, but Epona doesn't. But now the horse can actually die. And you could take your horses to like little places and feed them and restore them and stuff like that. And that's really cool. I like little touches like that. This is really cool. They announced that it is a launch title. It is going to be March the 3rd. Pre-orders are already out. Good luck finding them. I got freaking lucky. Lucky. Nintendo Switch comes out March 3rd. Breath of the Wild is also getting this, like, a couple special editions. Big special editions. Like there's a Master Edition. It's the one I pre-ordered. It comes with like a Master Sword statue thing that looks amazing. It comes with a case and a coin and a map and all kinds of cool stuff. I'm actually glad to see Nintendo doing this a little more. I really, really am. And I want to continue to see more. Because I like to collect things. You all, most of y'all have seen my videos of me with my laptop showing you all of my Zelda stuff and all of my Nintendo stuff and my Star Wars stuff. I like stuff like that. I ain't got no idea where I'm going to put any of it when I'm getting, because I may have to just take over another room of this house. I mean, it is my house. I can do that. But it's kind of getting to the point where I'm probably going to do that. But there's a lot of stuff going to come with, and then there's like also a lesser version that doesn't have the Master Sword thing, but has everything else. There's also a CD, a soundtrack that comes with it. We've seen that a few times from Nintendo. I can't wait to hear the soundtrack to this game, because for the music we've heard so far is beautiful. Those are definitely coming, and the Wii U version has them too. So if you're not ready to spend the $300 for a Switch right now, and you still want to get the Wii U version of the game, that's out there. Good luck finding these things right now, because there is limited quantities. Sorry about that. But all of the hype going into this. Now, if I had to give the overall presentation a rating, I would give it B minus. I'm going to give it an A, because it was a little lacking in launch titles, which I'm sure they're going to announce a couple more things over the weeks. Like I said, like as soon as it went off, they announced, here's Sonic Mania, here's Bomberman, Super Bomberman R. Another Street Fighter 2 game is coming to the console. Xenoblade Chronicles, that was in the presentation itself. It's getting a sequel. That's coming this year. That looks amazing. Also coming, Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. I'll probably get that when it comes out, because I've been wanting to play that. So many great stuff coming. Now, it may not be this huge launch lineup, but like I said, sometimes launch lineups are just kind of weak, but they end up following up with a big second wave. So we'll be able to see what's at. Now, here's what I want to know. I want to know what you all thought. There's also new Zelda amiibo for Breath of the Wild. Princess Zelda and the Bokoblin are both getting amiibo. But I want to know what you all are thinking. What are you guys looking forward to? What is your big want? What is your big complaint? Or what is, just any kind of thoughts, comments, and questions? Go ahead and feel free to let me know in the comment section here on YouTube. Also, for all of you Patreons, I want to make this announcement real quick. There is a new poll up, and where you can vote for a future Let's Play that will come sometime after Donkey Kong Country. So if you're not a Patreon and you want to vote on my next Let's Play, pledge $1 or more, and you will be able to do that. $1 a month, you get to take part in polls. It's just $1 a month, or you can do $2 or $3. Just anything above $1 will get you that privilege. And also, if you get more than $5, I'm going to be doing my very first ever Patreon exclusive video, doing a one-shot. It's not going to be a complete series of a classic NES game. I'm not going to reveal what that is. Only Patreons get to know that. That's part of the perks. But if you want to see me play these classic games, be sure to jump on Patreon. I will be sure to post a link to my Patreon in the subscription And also be looking at, I got a new Donkey Kong Country up yesterday. Another one should be coming out tomorrow. So be looking around for another episode of DKC. Anyways, I think that's about all I'm going to cover today. Be sure to be on the lookout for new videos. I'll try to put out another podcast sometime later this week. If anything major gets dropped, be checking my Facebook page for any announcements or anything. But anyways, everybody have a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday. Bye-bye.